Hello. Let's see if I can do a live stream today. It's snowing outside here in Texas, which is quite odd. I don't know. I've been working on this t400 for most of the day. It's kind of getting there. I figured I'd just answer some questions and maybe talk about some, I guess, topics if they come up. But yeah, here, I'll show it off really quick. I already have Libreboot on it. It's just not quite put together back yet. So, but as bad as it probably is to test it like this, I can show you. Should have a charged battery. I like my little custom picture I put on the background. I don't know if it's mirrored for you guys, but it's since their Windows is kind of abandoned stuff, I decided to do Debian GNU Linux with the L from the Windows flag. Not quite sure if you guys can see it though. And they kind of use a slew of different licenses: GPL, Light GPL, and BSD, as well as they said some artistic licenses, which I don't know is I don't really know what those are actually. Maybe it's just some liberties on licenses or anyways. I'm gonna see if you can actually, well, it's 11 a.m. here. That's why I said it was or 11 p.m. Sorry about that. Oh, hi the user, and hi Edward Gray. So like at this point, I actually need a hardware maintenance manual. I think Lenovo still has them posted. They're a pretty good resource for building things like this, especially if you don't have, you haven't done it a bunch of times, and the first time you did it, it was relatively large pain. But anyways, let's pull up T400 maintenance manual. Should be right under ThinkPad support. It's on thinkpads.com. Posted in the chat if anyone wants to see that. So, are my audio settings all right? Let me see if... I don't know what the latency is on here. Is this a little bit better? See if I have a really messy desk right now. I've also started, I took a... Fuck. Oh my god, I just dropped a screw in there, but I've been using magnets taken out of like a hard drive to actually like collect the screws in one place, and it actually works pretty well. Tell you, if someone falls in the damn computer you're fixing, which I wouldn't recommend, because then you kind of just have to take some parts off and kind of shake it, I guess. Probably the best way to do it. I don't know. I don't know if it actually fell in here. Never actually done like anything except like an X200 live, and I've done a bunch of those. So I might look like a little bit of a idiot doing this, which I guess I already do, because I just dropped a screw into the computer. Just, I don't think it's in there. I'm not hearing anything fall out. So it probably just fell on the floor. Huh. Here's a screw. So, I actually haven't done a live stream at this time. So, if you guys have any questions, I'm willing to answer them. The hardware maintenance manuals are pretty easy to go through. They typically provide a better resources than I fix it for some things, but I guess a lot of modern electronics don't really have really detailed hardware maintenance manuals. Well, let's see where I was at. So they have steps for replacing the motherboard and the screen. So I might not actually need it for this portion. It seems like I do have some parts units I was using for this. Like these two, for example, are both like $5, I think. Oh, this one was 10, I guess. Maybe I'll be able to make a third one out of these. I did actually make like a complete unit already, but it isn't Libreboot. So, you know, if I start out with like 4 units, I can generally make 2 or 3. I mean, they're strap tops, so it's not like they, you know, work to begin with. Typically have some extra parts left over. So, the next step is to actually mount the CPU heatsink in here. But before you do that, you have to actually clean up the thermal paste. So let's see if I can find a little rag around here somewhere. And some isopropyl alcohol. That's always good. Cleaning up thermal paste. Got my new thermal paste, some Arctic silver. Now we just need a rag. Something like a microfiber cloth is actually what I use. Like the same thing for like cleaning glasses. Don't use the same one for each, but not quite sure how silver particles would affect glass lenses. I see. Let me go back to chat here for a second. It does not have an ATI GPU on it. Oh, hey, what's up, iQuickson? Have you tried gaming on Linux much? I haven't. I kind of lost interest in a lot of video games. I was thinking since I was going to make this kind of like a... well, I don't really have a reason for making this. Rather than like... I mean, I have like... I just finished... Earlier today, I finished my like X200S rebuild. And... You know, it has a super low voltage processor, 1440 by 900 screen, and it's an X201 chassis with a slightly bigger heatsink than normal. So, runs really cool. 2 terabyte hard drive, probably worth more than the computer. But that's the one I actually use for programming. But boy off Reiko says, the last time I tried to Libreboot a t400, I failed to being scammed. Turns out the cheap Indian tier flash clip was missing 3 pins. Flash clip turns red and autistic screaming. Well, I would say though, I have had better luck with the Pomonas, but I've also gotten some Pomonas off eBay that had like clips that were slightly chipped and things like that. The worst luck I've had though were like the Chinese, drop shipment flash clips. So I typically opt for the Pomonas, but they do eventually wear down and some of the clips break. But I've been using the same ones for a really long period of time. So let's find a rag. Some sort. Do you think Arctic silver will compensate for a slight amount of fiber particles? I'm not quite sure that's the case. This place is becoming a mess. I'm trying to think where the last time I used a microfiber cloth was. This might be microfiber. So let's get started on this. Poured a little bit too much there. It's not a biggie. This alcohol in isopropyl form is pretty cheap. you're using some Bacardi 151, it might be a waste, but pretty much isopropyl will do just fine. And then you just need to kind of get some of the old paste off here. Weirdly, it doesn't seem like the thermal pad on this thing does much, actually. But most of the time, they'll use a thermal pad for like the Northbridge chip, I believe. But you just kind of wipe it off till it seems clean. You might have to do it once or twice. Maybe add some more alcohol to the rag. If you are a smoker, I would advise from not smoking while doing this. It is quite flammable. But eventually, I'll get it all nice and shiny. Or at least shinier. That one looks like it has a little bit of corrosion or something. I don't know what happened to it. But at least you can get all the thermal paste off. And, I'm kind of wondering about thermals on this thing because you give me 1 second here. I'm going to show you what processor I got. Oh, it's a T9600. I do not have a liquor cabinet. Let's go down here. And I believe this is our T9600 at 2.8 gigs. Since these are not well, a good thing to do since these are not BGA and they actually have pins in them, and it's typically easy to get at laptop motherboards. If you do have a dead motherboard, I would advise using it for this, but in this case, I'm going to chill a little bit and use the normal motherboard. I haven't had issues with electrostatic stuff doing this before, but I could foresee it being a problem. But either way, it's best to have something to hold it where you're not going to accidentally bend the pins. You can typically bend them back with a credit card, but it is a huge pain. Big time waster right there. Oh man. Wait. I'm sorry, Ornolex. The diaphragm perpendicular. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for the info. I hope my audio quality is better. I'll keep it like this. Yeah, let's look for a flathead bit. Let's do one around here. And there we go, flathead. And if you want to know on how to get most of these laptop processors out, it's pretty simple. Unless they're soldered in, then it's an entire different case. Just rotate it with the flathead to I guess that was off cam. But you rotate it like that. They have the little thing marked. And you just pick out the old chip. And then you could put in your new fast eBay ordered probably working chip. Oh God. Looks like this one came with a bent CPU pin. Oh, it's terrible. Well, a good trick for bent CPU pins is actually quite awful to do, but you can do it. Is if they're far enough apart, like typically on the Core 2 Duo series, or even like some AM3 chips, like the Phenom 2X series, probably Bulldozer as well, you can typically go in and take a credit card. This one's cut, and it's actually just a Goodwill gift card, and use it to bend some of the pins back. Although this is kind of an arduous process, and I don't quite have the best of vision. But Off Reiko says, I had to remove my mom's Google Home Minis from the house. Turns out it was hooked up to my phone, and Oh God, when I was browsing R9K, it read it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but you can use a sed script to pretty much auto-generate those threads. And I'll leave it at that. I actually don't think I've ever used or seen a Google Home Mini though. Is it just kind of like an Alexa type device, or like what does a Google Home Mini do? It's let's see if you can get a better picture. Not quite sure this is the best electronics working environment, but essentially, just got to go in, make sure the pins are aligned like that. You don't have to do every row. So typically only get bent around the corner in one direction like this. It'd be a very kind of, I guess I already said it was an arduous process, but it could be very nerve-wracking. And after you get them aligned in one direction, looked like two of the pins were bent there on that side. God, if I didn't buy these like a month ago, I'd probably return this chip. Or maybe I got it salvaged, I don't know. But either way, the pins are like all out of whack on the edges. I think that's good for one side. Don't want to get any gunk on it. And then you go down the other corner and do them perpendicular like this. Takes quite a long time. I think this just extended this build by like another half hour. The worst part, if you spend all your life staring at computer screens, your vision typically gets a little bit mad. So I actually can't really see exactly how some of these are turning out. But one advantage of having long fingernails is if the credit card's too fat, so when pin's bent too over, you can just kind of pry it out a little bit with your fingernail, or, a razor blade if you're a normal human being. And then go back in it with credit card. It was just, it just reads off things off your phone? Ivan Rubashov grew up with 20/20 vision, hit adulthood after staring at screens in the dark till 6 a.m. every day as a kid. Eyes ruined. Yeah, it's kind of me. I think my parents had it worse because she did, she's old enough that they had the terminal, staring at a terminal all the time. Probably worse for your eyes, CRT monitors. Not quite sure though. I think I can get this one with a credit card. Just bow it out slightly. No. It's a Goodwill card. It only has a mag stripe. I mean, if you can read magnetic stripes through the internet, good luck. Or give me weird looks when I use this. I think there's still like $4 on it. That's like a whole, 2004 era MP3 player right there. Those $4 in Goodwill credit. So what I get worried about doing this is I don't want to remove the thermal paste first, but it gets all over my hands. I'm afraid to get it on the pins. I actually have to be really careful about this. Oh, we got one row. Cool. On this corner, two corners seem bent. The others seem fine. And I got one corner down, and this is my second corner. So we got the first row almost. And I'll do the second row. Bend it a little bit like that side. So there's hi Ricardo. Hi from Texas. We're slightly more south of the border. Are you guys getting snow right now? We got snow. It's weird in Texas. So I assume it's weird in Mexico. It's more equatorial. Up Boy Off Reiko says there is a Christian donation shop and they tried to sell me a broken mixing board for $500 as it looks cool. Well, you know, those places are often hit and miss. Like, one time I bought a PlayStation 4 for not. Oh, wait, no, it was no, I think it was. Yeah, it was a PlayStation 4 for like $25 or $35 because it had one of those weird hard drive extension things where it had a desktop drive in it, and they thought it was some knockoff console. So, you know, they're generally one of those places that does volume over getting the prices right on everything, which can be good. You can get good deals, and you can also get ripped off. Either way, I hope the money was going to something good. Ricardo Geo 8. I don't understand English, but I used Libreboot in my MacBook 2.1 and my X60S. Yo, no hablo español. Mi amigo, Ricardo. I apologize. Maybe I should do translations more. I don't know. My videos. Andrew Forsyth says, "Did you put Linux on the PS4?" No, actually, I sold it quite quickly. It didn't really. The PS4 uses x86 chips, right? I don't know. I found the PlayStation 3 kind of interesting. They used like some sort of PowerPC architecture. And after bending the pins back, you can just insert the chip in and hopefully it'll still work. So then of course you have to screw it in the other way. And then we can get to having another shot. Well, CPU is going to have a shot. Or more of like an ether rag if you think about it. Chloroform rag, maybe. I honestly don't know if this thing works. That is some really dried off thermal paste, like dried up. I look at like with, I gotta show this really close to the camera. That's after like a few wipes from an alcohol rag. I'm making a joke, Alex. Saying the CPU, the like computer CPU is gonna have a shot. And I was making a chloroform joke rag because essentially I'm just draping stuff with a solvent and then covering, you know, the CPU. Inhalants are bad for you. A lack of comedy, though, it can kill. I'm actually using a Logitech one. I bought it for I think $30 from Best Buy a while back. This is back when I was in College Station. Best Buy was like the only tech store there. I didn't really have anything with a decent webcam, and like I kind of just wanted something that'd work for the time I was doing a live stream with like Luke Smith. I think I made one live stream before that to kind of test the setup. So it worked and worked fine on the live stream. I have been notoriously plagued with not knowing how to operate a Blue Yeti mic. I don't know. Maybe it's like lack of interest or lack of. I don't know. I figured it would just kind of work. Billy G is 100% drug free, as in freedom. Well, good for you, Billy G. But I can't really think of anything you could use to get rid of. Well, I mean, you're not supposed to inhale it. If you're inhaling the product you're using to clean thermal paste off, you're doing something wrong. Even if it's water, if you think about it, you're not really supposed to inhale liquids. All natural thermal paste remover. Wonder what it'd be. I'm gonna get these as shiny as possible. This old kind of thermal paste gunk is quite terrible. I'm kind of saddened recently. The local Fry's Electronics seems like it's going out of business. I mean, half their stock's not stocked, and there's only like 3 workers in the entire place. They say they're changing suppliers, but I kind of feel like they're going out of business. No inventory stock plus no employees does kind of scream of going out of business. Huh. I don't think humidity, though, would clean electronics very well. Okay, so you got these kind of shiny. I'm just going to ignore the gunk on the side. And now we can continue to the next portion. Because when I apply thermal paste, I typically get a little bit OCD about it. Actually, this one still seems to have like some residue on it. That's just the North Bridge, but still, I'm putting like a T9600 is a 2.8 gigahertz Core 2 Duo mobile processor. So I want to get this done pretty well. Don't want any chance of like death by overheat, especially because I guess T400s at this point are more interesting for me to work on than X200s. Oh, Clickson says every Fry's is going out of business, but they are pretending they aren't. You know, that might be the case. There's a Yeti tutorial mic in that link. I don't think the link appeared, but anyways, I mean, if it's set up like this and I'm just supposed to talk directional to it, I guess this could work. You know, I think I have it on like the setting, like they say you should have it. They just have like random symbols. I'm not very good at that. I like text. But if it'll improve audio quality for the stream. Oh, by the way, Comfy, I'm sorry your new pad is dying. That sucks. What model exactly, though? You might be able to fix it. I mean, I've worked on some yoga laptops and stuff when I did some like volunteer work at Goodwill at their computer center place. And some of the yogas actually weren't the worst to work on. I wouldn't want to own one because they aren't really that upgradable, but some of the new pads are at least openable. You know, that's better than you could say for some Apple products and things like that. Or maybe the Surf, or what was the Microsoft's like Apple sort of clone thing, tablet. not quite tablet, but somewhere between. Surface, yeah, a Surface. God, I feel like I'm getting out of touch with new electronics. Like, I don't think I've paid attention to anything like vaguely since like they had a Ryzen ThinkPad and the. Well, I mean, I've been doing other things in electronics, but I haven't been like paying attention to, which model's the new thing or the best and whatever. Like, I kind of want a Talos too, but I think that's like the only bit in new electronics where I'd consider. Okay, I think that's good for the rag. So let's move on to the second portion, which is applying thermal compound. I typically let it dry for a bit, just in case. But here I can talk about. They only had this in stock, and like some really random off-brands. So I bought the giant thing of Arctic Silver, and hopefully I won't have to buy one for a really long time. Gen 1 Yoga. Huh. It's easy to open, but everything else is a pain in the ass. Oh, I clicked in. Microsoft Surf is for surfs. Yeah, I'd feel really bad if you're in IT department and had to upgrade those. Alex, do you have any temptation to distro hop? Slightly. I've been considering hopping to Arch or Arch Linux, but it's mainly because the small amount of testing packages I use seem to cause problems every once in a while on Debian. But I haven't really seen like any other distributions that have like the amount. Oh, I guess I've never really been interested in like the Fedora-based ones. So I'll go bald. Oh my god. No, I mean it honestly seems like the most stable rolling release. I would look really weird bald. I've installed it one time and it seemed all right. I just don't like the idea of the whole rolling release concept. And I also don't like the fact that they remove 32-bit support. And they also have less support for other architectures than Debian does. I honestly rather switch to something like OpenBSD, but I don't think I'd like that on all my systems. Maybe just for like a server operating system. Yeah, I did, MF. Alex says Devuin is supreme. And hello, dear veteran Unix admin. Well, I haven't really done that much Unix administration. I mean, I guess BSD is technically considered Unix, but I've only ran a server with FreeBSD and occasionally messed around with NetBSD and OpenBSD, but never in a server setting. So, and GNU is not Unix. That's what it stands for. So, I haven't really researched a lot about Void Linux, the Great Drake. I mean, part of the nice thing about staying with one distribution for a long time is you get to know a lot about it and how to fix problems with it. Okay, Jason, or Daniel Stone, thank you. I'm going to copy this, paste it in the next tab, and begin the application of thermal paste. So generally on laptops, I typically do the spreading it out evenly method. I don't do that on desktops because most things have heat spreaders. I don't know how you feel about them, and because I know there's kind of two ways to do it in that sense. Like, you can either just, put the little peanut on it, but I feel like it worked better with this Cooler Master thermal paste for that method on like the laptop dies. But since there isn't an internal heat spreader, I kind of just get wary and then just end up trying to get the thinnest coat possible that you can with a, I guess, heat spreader tool or thermal paste spreader tool. Yeah, that's the correct phrasing. Let's see if find a pair of scissors or the other previously used portion of the card. Here's a pair of scissors. Void, Great Drake says, Void is a rolling release and uses runit as init and also uses Libresso over OpenSSL, I guess LibreSSL. Sorry about that, because of Heartbleed. Kind of a little bit confused about Heartbleed, but I mean, if it's very BSD-like, well, I've had good luck with OpenBSD and having some of the stuff being easier to set up when it comes to command line, and overall, it's probably more secure since the entire operating system concept is based off security mainly. What Andrew Forsyth, what distro is the default RuneScape character using now? Has he gone full minimalist? I don't know who the default RuneScape character is. I've actually never played RuneScape. I almost installed it once as a friend was playing it, but I kind of was more interested in mining with bots than actually playing the game because that sounded more fun to me. But I might be wrong. Who knows? I might have gotten into RuneScape and had a RuneScape channel, but I kind of doubt it. Comfy is comfy, apparently. I have not tried Minix. I didn't know it was actually usable for much. Actually, I thought it was more of a research sort of operating system type thing. I couldn't really can you use it for I don't think you can use it for a desktop, Oh, I think you'd have better luck with trying to remember what was from the last live stream. But oh my god. I've never used one of these 12-gram Arctic Silver things. It comes out a little bit harder. I was afraid it was all going to gush out, but nope. Arctic Silver 5. I even had to buy the 12-gram one. I mean, I guess it's cheaper overall, but still. Paid $17 for something that looks like peanut butter. I love that feeling. But luckily, I only have to buy it once or twice a year, so. Oh no, I need to sell those X200s. I have the extra ones. Probably gonna do that soon. Oh yeah, you guys probably want a camera shot to see what I'm doing. And I guess I should rotate this. Oh no, I guess it's I need to make a proper mic stand. I did not quite understand exactly how you're supposed to set up these mics when building this. Maybe I lean it over a little bit closer, so I'm like this now. Can you always see the spreading of the gray peanut butter? I feel like a painter. That's probably good enough. Honestly, like, if I spend too much time on this, I get like really, really particular, and then start viewing it on that this little sort of telemetry magnifier thing, and then I'm there for like an hour. Oh, my hair is blocking. Okay. Is this better? God damn it. I need like a hair tie. I got Andrew Forsyth got wiped off RuneScape in 1999 for using RuneBot. Got out of bed one day and all my stats were wiped to 1, even HP. It's kind of funny. Well, I don't know. One of my comp sci friend actually made his like own macro bot sort of thing, which is kind of cool. And I was thinking like, maybe if I go like this and just, it's kind of hard to see though for me if I get out of the way of the actual thermal paste application. And I don't think I'm getting this out of the processor. Okay, I feel like you guys are just gonna have to deal with looking at my hair for a bit. I'm sorry. I'm almost done though. Oh god, this one isn't turning out that great. You know, I should make a video where I just test other like things as thermal compounds. I was thinking of that, but there's an obligatory meme that everyone would make jokes about, which I wouldn't do. Okay, so put this somewhere. And let's go apply that heatsink. See if the laptop is still in focus. Well, lean it over a little farther. So, I'm not quite sure if this, I should double check something really quick. The nice thing about having parts units, oh, wait, this one isn't the right one. This one. So you can go and check for things like, oh, hey, does that cable go over or under the heatsink? Oh, it goes over. Okay, cool. So, yeah, the Lenovo hardware maintenance manual had some slightly confusing drawings for the positioning of this cable. But I don't know, maybe I was looking at the like R400 section instead. I haven't taken apart one of those. I think those are also Librebootable, so it might be, I don't know if there'd be any difference though. And I already have a lot of systems like this. I might actually figure out some way to maybe give this to someone that'll appreciate it more. So I am kind of a little bit overloaded on the computer stuff, like in terms of the sheer number of, systems I have at this point. Because I kind of just need a T500 and some backup, like a backup T500 and a backup, an X200 and a backup X200, and I'd be good for a while. Maybe get my IBM 240 working, or buy like a Toshiba libretto for notes, and I think I'd be good. So this is starting to take shape a bit more. We got the heat sink on there now. Actually, no, but I do have some 40 series things I was thinking about flipping. So I will probably review them before I proceed to resell them. Who knows? One might be amazing enough to bring me out of, I guess, the equivalent to being I don't, I don't want to use the word boomer, but I do all my video stuff on, and actually all my computing on stuff from like 2008. So maybe that's a little bit bad. So out of curiosity, which would you rather see like a video for either like just a regular, I mean, on this, like I'm gonna set it up with something and I want it to, like I kind of get like the nostalgia thing, but I don't really want to install something that literally has like, I don't really want to install like Chicago 95. So it's just like an XFCE, theme. So I was thinking going for like trying out Next Step, but I'm willing to put out other Windows Manager suggestions. It just have to be like updated in the last 10 years. It's not like a super high requirement, but I would prefer that. And since I'm going to be lazy looking for screws, we can just take ThinkPad, which is I'm sure is dead. It didn't post, and oh wait, no. I think this one had like CompuTrace and a BIOS password or something. I don't. I did flash Libreboot over something like that once, and it proceeded not to post afterwards. So I'm not like, probably a way around it, and I could probably do it later if I actually want to make a video on it. But at the moment, like, since you have to disassemble the entire T400 anyways to do the motherboard swap, and this one actually kind of came without some of the parts there, I think I'd go with this one. I also kind of dig like older hardware, but the time requiring it nowadays, since I don't have access to like a proper electronics recycling center, I can't really find anything that piques my interest really. Like I kind of want to like do videos where I install Linux on older and like BSDs on older systems, but MF BIOS bypassing on the 2XX series probably varies from model. I could, because there's a lot of 2XXs. I mean, like X200s and X201s. You mean X220s, X230s, X240s, X250s, even up to X260s. I can't afford all that, but I could try some of that. Would be kind of an interesting direction. Oh, Edward Gray says FVVMWM or FWM super configurable if you're willing to put the work into it. So I kind of wanted to go slightly with the 95 theme, so I'm gonna look this up. Huh. Well, if it's super configurable, I could probably like think of a theme for that, or find one, or make it at least look kind of like that. I was thinking Next Step for a bit, but let me take a look at it. I mean, there's definitely some of these that look, at least from that, like, well, some of these that look like kind of from that era, which, would probably fit the theme of the computer. Might not be a bad idea. Let me look at the documentation. So hopefully I need to not get too behind. And I always yeah, like window maker. That's what not next step, window maker, right? That's the port thing. Make a make a video on shorting the CMOS or whatever to bypass the BIOS password. I can give it a shot. I'd have to find some with BIOS passwords. I mean, I guess I don't know if you can do it on the T400. You might be able to. I just found it easier to, since one was missing a keyboard and a BIOS password, to use the other one. Pete Myers says, "Have you ever done Libreboot on a TV?" You could probably make a DVR with some of the Libreboot sort of builds, I guess. TV tuner cards exist and things like that. There's a few motherboards that support Libreboot. X230s and X240s. Okay. I do have an X240, but it doesn't have a BIOS password. I don't know if I'd be willing to risk, breaking it for that. I guess I could try to buy one with a BIOS password. It'd probably be pretty cheap. CWM. Okay, I'll type in CWM. Go to the page really quick. Oh my god. I assume you're not talking about Clockwork mod for Android, so I'm gonna have to second search here. Oh man. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Is this the default for Open? Yeah, this is the default for OpenBSD, isn't it? Like CWM. FVWM is stacking, so it sucks either way. You rather use A3. You can get a retro style theme on FDVWM, can't on TWM. Window Maker was my favorite environment back in the early 2000s. I'm actually beginning to think Window Maker. I'm not using KDE. Just sorry, like I don't want to use a desktop environment first. I don't know. I guess every time like I mention how much I dislike KDE, like people that have used like they like KDE Plasma or whatever, and I used it like when KDE 4.0 was out and tried it. I didn't like it. I tried it when KDE 4.0 was out, and for some reason that and Kden Live have made me have some default like repulsion to KDE, but I know it can't be as bad as I imagine it being, but it's definitely not something that look retro or fit the hardware resources I'm going to put in this thing. CWM for OpenBSD. Oh, OpenBSD is FVWM by default, says MF. Huh. I just noticed it looked like the startup thing with the console in the corner. I kind of replaced it pretty quick, so I wasn't really keen on learning a new operating system and new Windows Manager at the same time. Sawmill? Oh man. I'd rather get something that's like written in C, but Sawmill Windows Manager. You know, I probably should pick one that just no one has a video on. So I'm pretty sure that's my one. I think if I do window maker, like it's just gonna 90% sure there's like already 100 window maker videos. I mean, part of the thing though is the video I was gonna compare it to the, you know, stock T400 with the same processor and stuff with Windows 10, same specs, everything for everything else. I was just gonna list that one on eBay. So honestly, the amount it takes to Libreboot a T400 is not really worth the amount of money you get out of it. It's more of something you would do as like a hobby sort of thing. Oh my god, that's not what you want to apply to your computer. You don't want to take your neodymium screw magnet thinking it's one of the hard drive the thing that goes over the Northbridge chip to compress it down and make sure it doesn't overheat. Don't confuse these. I mean, these are really cool because I can go like. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I've been up for a long time, so I keep missing words. Oh my god. But yeah, those neodymium magnets are actually really useful. They're, I mean, like the hard drive's kind of cool too. But I haven't really found a way to drive this. I think it uses like a stepper motor or something. But genome. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could always like still use that keyboard, Francis Mitzi. Well, I should probably buy one of those like USB ThinkPad keyboards at some point, but they made PS2 ones, and I imagine they were pretty similar. Oberon. No one's done a video on Oberon. Is that because Oberon is Oberon just horrible or undeveloped, or is it because it's just obscure? I mean, I'm not even finding it. Okay, if I type Windows Manager afterwards. Oberon operating system. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently, okay, it's tiling windowing. Windows are arranged in 2 tracks. You never have to mess with the screen, and the windows are always rectangular. Oh man, I'm gonna have to change my tab spacing. Integrated text format with embedded objects. Kind of curious what this looks like. I mean, it's the first window manager page I've seen that doesn't have a like screenshot. Oh, they have a wiki. Here, I'm gonna go attach this really quick. Okay, I just use a normal. I clicked in. I probably won't get a Red Hat certification. MF, the T400 does have a CD drive, and you can put in a second hard drive, I believe. Yeah, this is what the DVD drive looks like. Or I guess a DVD multi-drive, CDRW, to be specific. Alaskan experience is, hey, I got my Chromebook core booted. It's running Gallium OS now. Well, I'm glad. It's nice because I imagine like Chrome OS is quite limiting. But did you use Chromebox or Mr. Chromebox or whoever makes the core boot binaries for the Chromebooks, or did you actually like compile everything? I'm just wondering. I mean, it's no shame if you did it the other way. It's just I'm kind of curious. So I've only compiled core boot for like x86 stuff that was relatively well documented. Huh. Okay, well. Oh man. I'm gonna get sleepy if I don't do this. Probably a poor excuse, but oh well. Huh. Tom, is there much performance difference between the X201 and X220? Well, it depends what you're doing with it. The X220 is generally Westmere and Sandy Bridge had like a significant performance jump if you compare it to like the difference between a let's say X220 and X230. So, but with the X201, you do have the option of a 1440 by 900 panel, but the X220 does support core boot better, and you can actually run core boot with ME Cleaner quite well. So it's really, if you want to pick one between those, I have like a bunch of X201 boards, but I kind of just put like an X200 S board of like a low voltage Core 2 Duos. I generally use this laptop that I'm on for the heavy lifting, and I use the kind of X200 just to watch videos, program, and compile small programs that I write. Phantom Beach. Will this be available later? A little bit confused on that comment. I actually don't know a lot about certifications. I mean, I did take like a networking class in college, but Eric F says, is it worth upgrading the screen on the T400? Well, you can definitely upgrade it to 1440 by 900. I smoke Talons because they're cheap and they taste better than Pall Malls. They're $1.25. Thanks, Phantom Beach. Switched, because privacy concerns and of decent applications for Chrome. I've never tried Chrome OS, so I wouldn't really know the application side of it. I always just imagined it was set up to be a portal to Google services, but they ended up making cheap. Is the OSCP certification the Red Hat? I mean, I might glance over it, but at the moment, I'm kind of just I'm a little bit busy. And I probably can get like a job with my college degree once I finish it. Well, they're actually classified as cigars. So hi, Clixton. Um, but boy, off Rico, what exactly is from the? Oh, wait, the certifications from the Cal? Oh, from the Cali devs. You know, actually, I might find that pretty interesting. Yeah, honestly, if you send me those, I'll probably read some of them. I don't think I'll go through everything, but I've been thinking about getting into that stuff, but I don't really know how to, like, what do I test it on? You know, like my home network, or I do. Well, I mean, yeah, I won't get to. It might not. It might. I've seen some people get jobs in that in the Austin area. Uh, Keep in mind, I was doing a cybersecurity minor, and I only had one ethics course to complete it. So, you know, I could, that wouldn't be the worst thing to look at, especially since the cybersecurity minor was really just a bunch of programming courses. Oh no, I was thinking about selling some of the stuff on my website. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with this computer though, as it seems a little bit too customized for wide appeal. You know, processor that's probably gonna have overheating issues. I think fan will have to be installed, combined with. I'm not talking about my X200Ss. I'm talking about the T400. I'm taking a break from building at the moment, but we'll quickly go back to after this. But the I'm kind of thinking of making it into some sort of I guess Windows Manager sort of build thing to compare to like a normal T400, which I'm planning just to list on eBay after I'm done with it. I don't know if I'm gonna put 7 or 10 on it, but I think I'll put 10 on it for the video though, just because I know 10 uses a ridiculous amount of RAM, so I doubt it would get any sort of good performance out of that. And I think it's 7 at this point. Are not doing security patches and things like that, so most of the people that use it are probably Twitch anyways, so I don't think it'd be a great comparison. Maybe it would be, I don't know. You have any opinions on that? I don't really want to go through the effort of installing both. I might actually have a 7 disk somewhere, but the hard drive speed on that's going to be kind of slow. I don't really use those disks much for anything but like installing drivers, so read source and find bugs, do code auditing, says MF. If I want to actually hack. Well, the thing is, like, I guess, that they do, aren't there ways to make money for finding bugs, right? Oh, Medhi Oik says, late night, well, it's early morning here. Well, good morning. I hope you have a good day, a productive day, I guess. But Boy Off Rico says, it's not like I need a job now. I live with my mom. Self-reflective. But I have been making some money doing like computer repair stuff. I would show you my business card, but it has my normal phone number on it. Probably a bad move there, but I didn't want to buy a business phone line thing, nor have the money to. So I did have the money print business cards though. I have made some money repairing computers. Oh, come on, it's a comparison thing. I'm not putting. You can't even install Windows 7 on Libreboot. The other computer isn't. I literally have one T400 here and another. Well, I have a bunch of part systems, but I also built another one that doesn't have Libreboot or anything like special on it. That I was just. But it has the same processor, and well, oh god, 1:21 a.m. over here. Says Edward Gray. Oh. One problem about these is they go out easily. But the second T400, I'm probably just going to put on eBay. Currently have my Tough book on there, but I don't have any bidders yet. Alaskan Experiences, what's your favorite distribution and why? I like Debian. I kind of grew up using Ubuntu off and on, so the learning curve from that to using Debian was very short. And then I kind of just got used to my setup, and occasionally I'll explore something, but it's not really, I kind of like writing software more than figuring out config files for other people's software, I guess. So every once in a while, it is kind of fun to switch up, but I don't really want to do. I mean, even though I do like DistroTube's content, I'm not a huge fan of like switching Windows managers all the time and things like that. I kind of just stuck with i3 because it worked better enough that it was worth learning and didn't really. Hasn't really changed much. I can still use my old i3 config files from a long time ago, and Debian is only time it caused me issues were NVIDIA drivers and dist upgrades, and the time I decided to run SID for some god unknown reason. I don't actually really know. I mean, they make kind of different content. Trying to think here. So I watch more DistroTube videos than Luke Smith videos now, but he's also kind of steered away from making just Linux videos. So I do mainly just watch those from those channels. I did actually watch DistroTube's live stream before this. It was or not live stream. I watched his take on YouTube and things like that, and Mastodon. But boy off Rico says you can tell if someone uses Debian or Arch from a scale of their hair length ranging from long to bald. Oh my god. Well, I have installed it. I used it for like a few weeks. It was okay. Mert hosts DistroTube says MF. A little bit confused on that comment. If I missed any up here. Huh, Mert is cooler than Luke. I don't think he makes YouTube videos. Alaskan Experience says Debian is God's chosen distro. I think that wouldn't be a distribution. It'd be an operating system that runs in 640 by 480 called Temple OS. Temple OS is an operating system, not a distribution of Linux. Okay, back to the build. Have some Mountain Dew and better to get back to building this before I fall asleep. I have to get up at 6:30 tomorrow. Well, this is gonna be fun. So, oh god, this one's already built. It doesn't have Libreboot. You build the Libreboot one. By the way, have you ever built an entire system and forgot to plug in the power cord? I've done that before. It's horrible. They have a little power cord thing right here where you plug into the motherboard. You can plug it in from the T400 series, but on the X200, it's just underneath the motherboard. So if you forget to plug it in, you have to rebuild the entire thing. It's kind of annoying. I've done that once. But those builds are a little bit simpler. The things like the non-X series that use like full magnesium chassis take about double the time. So, okay, what do we have to do here? We got the modem cables plugged in for some god unknown reason. I have yet to use a modem in my life, except for like a, sort of 3G or 2G modem sort of thing. So, I guess Wi-Fi card. Okay, so we yank one out of here. I think this one has a Wi-Fi card. It does. And plastics. That's cool. Yeah, I think I have like a bunch of parts T400s everywhere, so. Like the T400 doesn't quite interest me as much as the X200 or T500 because I feel like it's a compromise between the two, but it doesn't have the ability for the right sort of pixel depth that I enjoy. And also, unfortunately, like every single scrap model I've found has a 1280 by 800 screen, and it's just not that great at the size of 14 inches. I can deal with it on the X200, even though I'd prefer the 1440 by 900 screen, but that only works on the X200S and X201. I tried to get it working on the X200 quite a bit. Did not work. People say it works. It doesn't, at least in my experience. So let's go take this piece of plastic off here. Oh yeah, okay, so I guess this one uses a slightly different heat sink because it appears this one's an ATI model over here, judging by the slightly beefier heat sink. Maybe I should put that heat sink on here. But for the sake of time and brevity and, hey, I need to sleep at some point, I'm not going to go and swap out the heat sink again. And plus, this will probably be a more accurate comparison to the other T400 then. So I'll have the exact same hardware. Okay. Seems secure. Probably move the webcam down again so you guys can see what I'm actually doing. So essentially right now, I'm taking one of our part systems over here and I'm robbing it of its parts. Because it's quite a bit cheaper to just buy the... Well, it's quite a bit cheaper just to buy part systems than it is to buy individual parts. So, for example, you can get a part system for $5 to $10. And that's if you're at a recycling place, not like on eBay. And because eBay, even if you get it for like $25 or something, you have to pay for shipping. But let's say you need a screw kit. Okay, no matter what, you're going to get a screw kit with the part system. I used to use it on 4chan. So, yeah. That's kind of weird, but boy off Reiko. R9K, I think that's where I started using 4chan too. But that was during high school, and I was quite a bit edgier. just remove some of these screws and feel around on the plastic to see what else has to be removed for this plastic bit to come off. Generally, the older and bigger the system, the easier it is to break the plastic. Or maybe not bigger, but older the system. But you know, on these T400 models, it actually isn't that bad. You can still break it if you're not careful on accident. Okay, so looks like this metal piece might have to come off. Is this metal piece going first or after? It's kind of hard to tell. This is the metal piece I'm talking about. Well, thanks, MF. I'm making very slow progress on it, but a lasting experience. I do have a Patreon. That $25 option I've been meaning to remove, but it's still there, and oh god, I probably should have been more specific about making a video because I'm actually rather strapped for cash right now. So I've been mainly doing stuff that like videos that I actually have money, or not money, but parts to do. So I probably should take that option off, but okay. I'll probably do that later tonight. But yeah, otherwise I have a $1 and $5 thing where I'll just say thanks and respond to your messages occasionally on there. You're probably more likely to find me on Mastodon or Discord, and I check those. Probably Mastodon not every day, but I do go on there probably at least every 2 days, and Discord I'm on quite frequently. I wish there's a better alternative that would have the same amount of user base as Discord, but I haven't been able to really find one. I used to go on Mumble. I really got that to catch on my server here, or YouTube channel here. I guess I'll post my Discord thing at some point, or if you email me, I'll send it to you. I'll check my email later today. Well, I mean, I do really have I have a relatively small audience in a niche sort of content genre. Like, it's not even just generic tech things, like, but I wouldn't enjoy doing that type of stuff, so I don't know if that's a plus or a minus. Mitchell Valentino says, have you ever been electrocuted or shocked yourself while repairing a computer? Yes, I have. Unisys 486. Back when I had that system, they do not cover the power supply when you're working. Well, they don't cover the power supply case, and I had it. I think I had it turned off or something. I had the computer turned off, and I was just swapping RAM out, but I accidentally grabbed it by part of the power supply and got a nice 120 volt shock. In terms of other times I've been shocked, I was a kid and I didn't know what. Well, I did. My dad told me that this cow fence was electric, but I liked holding fences and railings and things. But I didn't. I'm typically stubborn. It's like, oh, it never shocked me before, but one time it was on and it shocked me, and that hurt kind of a lot. And then I've yet to ever touch a fence like that again. And I think I do not have a Discord channel. I might make one. Not quite sure. I guess another time I got shocked was messing around with well, no, I was using a soldering iron in middle school and accidentally burnt some of the rubber But being a middle schooler is like, I'll just never touch that part. And I touched that part one time. But I think that's all the times. I do not have a Discord channel. I'm typically on TPG or like the Reddit ThinkPad General because TPG kind of died because the admin doesn't really do much now in terms of that. So one more screw I didn't take off completely. Apparently it's this one, not that one. Oh, they're both gone. What the hell? That's odd. I think it's just jammed. Maybe if I rotate the screen back. Yeah, there we go. We got this off. So it appears you attach this, then you attach the other thing. But first, we need to get a Wi-Fi card. Sorry about your internet friend, Boy Off Reiko, and the trolling. I clicked since it says just shill for Raid Shadow Legends, and boom, you're on the front page. I think the most complicated mobile game I've played was Tetris, unironically, or like an emulator for like NES games. I mean, I guess I had like a Nintendo DS in elementary school. But I mean, I was thinking on the phone. I don't really get the idea of wanting to play a video game on a phone. They don't have any tactile buttons, and I mean, I haven't really played console games in a really long time, and I don't really play computer games that often anymore, so I haven't, maybe I just don't get it, but it seems like if you have a touchscreen, it's just gonna like, just not, I mean, I guess an RPG could probably still work. Okay, so mid-gray goes to 1, white or light gray goes to 3, and then, oh my god, it goes 1, 3, 2. Okay, that's fucking annoying. I'm just gonna remember this and just eyeball it. Fuck it. Oh god, probably should have took a photo or something. Oh, light gray 3. Now let's do this. Oh, fuck. Apparently, if you mess these up, it just gets worse Wi-Fi. And should not do this for sleep. Do not do computer repair when you're really tired. You end up making stupid mistakes. Wait, why am I even inserting this card? I Librrebooted the damn thing. And then I gotta have to use Intel drivers? Fuck, I have an Atheros card on the fucking table. Sorry about the swearing there. I think this is an Atheros card. Is it? No. Not quite sure, actually. It looks like one. It doesn't have the Atheros thing on it. Let me look around. I know I have a few of these things. Bought them in bulk a while back. Okay. Oof. I have Oh, we're just gonna have to look this up. Type in some model numbers here. I mean, I've rebuilt my own system while I had a few beers before. Mainly X200s. I hate doing them now. I've rebuilt like 16 X200s and X201s, and at this point it's just like a chore every time I have a hardware issue or something like that. You know, you like drop your system or something. The Bluetooth controller on the thing is a lot smaller. I mean, honestly, like, I need to get some different models because getting a little bit tired of doing the same Libreboot thing over and over and over. Probably shouldn't. Well, I mean, part of the reason I'm doing this right now is so I can I might sell this down the line or pretty shortly. I'm not quite sure though. Great, no matching. But it seems like the build quality is a little bit lacking, so I'm doing a live stream and I'm quite tired, so I might not sell this and just keep it as my own system. Maybe as like a backup sort of thing. Okay, type in another number. Okay, maybe the number at the top. WN601A. Oh my god, that's not bringing up anything meaningful. Maybe V00 afterwards. Okay, it's a mystery card. Back says Anatel, but okay, it says AR50B95 on the back, which is the right card. So we're good. Now I just need to double check. Or actually, I'll match the number thing here. So 2 is black and 1 is gray, I think. I typically double check this when I build one. You know what? I'm going to double check it anyways. I need to catch up on chat first. So let's see what's happening in chat. Oh, Alaskan experiences. How's your progress with the end curses and sound? Well, I found some things that might fix it. I really need to do another video again to actually figure it out. I tested it with FLAC first. You can embed that in like an MKV container. And FLAC audio was really just, it was actually worse in terms of getting re-encoded and things like that. So I think I'm moving towards back to my development branch instead of the experimental one where I was re-encoding the audio each time. But I am, previously what I was doing was I was correcting it with time codes, but eventually like I would get kind of a little bit, I guess. I think it's the snip function because for a while back, I had a snip function that did corrections for the duration of the audio and things like that. But when you do it like that, there is one negative. If you do it at the wrong moment, it can kind of he'll clip the video to be the same length as the audio so they match. And you can get like a audio blip when that happens. It's typically really small, but it's very noticeable. So I was hoping I could find like some audio codec where that I wouldn't have to worry about that. And I wouldn't have to double encode it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to translate it back into a normal format afterwards. So yeah, I think but I did change a few things. Like I'm using VSync, which supposedly handles the audio problems by dropping frames. But I've been including, if I don't include copy V with that option. I'm not even quite sure it's running with copy V because that just copies the video codec. So I don't know if it's going through and dropping the frames, but if I do run it without that, it takes quite a bit longer, which I'm not quite sure why exactly, because I'm using, it's only compressed with intersectional compression. So it should only be having to literally delete portions of the frames. There's no like interconnecting part the CPU has to work on. But either way, I guess I'll figure that out probably tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow because I have classes. So I'm going to make a little trailer, but I don't think I'll be able to figure out the audio sync issues. I think I need a trailer for my channel at some point. So yeah, I mean, uno dos, I agree with you on that slightly. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, if you're, depends on how much, what you're doing it for. I would definitely agree with it with wood tools. Do not use wood tools or metalworking tools. It's even worse. Don't even think about going near a lathe with my hair or being, you know, slightly intoxicated. That'd be horrible. I'm not going to tell you to look up pictures of that. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on it. Like I said, the development cycle for it is kind of just whenever I make a video, as I get more test footage and get to find more problems. But I think my issue with the previous method, with the snip, is something with the snip function for some reason. I'm not exactly sure. But I did change the snip function, and I thought the snip function was working earlier. But yeah, it's not. I think that's why it was causing those audio issues. And also, I might have an issue with the outro clip being in the wrong audio. Like I might need to make sure it's like, it might be a slightly different audio codec. Because I noticed the issues got a lot worse when I put it in at the front. So I don't know if I'm going to do an intro clip like that again, or maybe I'll just make my own intro clip. Like, but oh well, sorry about the diatribe into that. Let's get back to the build. I have to look up main and aux. Color codes. And hopefully, actually, let me just go to images. Should probably just show. Oh my god, I need to type in antenna Wi-Fi. So, was it particularly helpful? Okay, so I think, I was right. Black goes to 2. So let's just plug this in. Probably need to work on the cable management. So on the T400 and T500, the cable management is really important. It's a little bit more, has a lot more cables than the X series for some reason. And they seem to be, like the keyboards won't be flat if you don't put everything together quite right. I mean, there are certain liberties you can take, but it has to be pretty close to the original configuration. So, I feel like I'm crushing the modem cable. And why do I even put the modem cables back in? I don't know why. I just feel like if I sell it, some guy's going to be upset when he tries to use his modem for some reason. And I guess this is one I haven't No comments. I can't really respond to no comments. Let's adjust some things. Okay, this is supposed to loop around here, I'm guessing, and now let me plug it in a bit better. Yep. Oh, honestly, I should get like a DSLR sort of thing going on, or at least like maybe I could like retrofit some sort of camera lens onto a webcam. Not quite sure how that works. It'd be really nice to have an optical zoom, so I could just like rotate it, and then you guys could be like seeing up here, which would I imagine improve the quality of the stream. I was also thinking about moving this indoors so I could have higher bit rates. Have you used FPGAs? No, I haven't. I've thought about getting into that stuff. But right now I'm a little bit short on money and I'm trying to save up for like a van. So yeah, trying to just really get, if I'm doing a project, it's probably going to be one of my current projects or something based off my massive amount of Freescale demo boards. So yeah. They might have an FPGA somewhere in there. I'm not quite sure what they did. But it's going to be a really old one. High-end, really old one. And a prototype, but still. Jesse Riddle says, can always use telephone or hard lines for file transfers with that modem. You know, maybe I should just change this live stream over the modem. You guys could see me at a glorious, you know, 1 frame per second or something. Probably less. But I always thought it, like, it'd be kind of interesting to do something with like communication with like telephone hard lines if I had a house. So I don't know how much control you can actually have over the modem. Like, can you like just make it make a constant tone? They could have that like communicate via like some sort of like Morse code like thing with chars, but with a parity bit added. The massive modems and the old Tonkers are annoying. Can we take them out? Depending on the model. This one, the modem's embedded into the board. Some of them, though, they do come out. I don't have like a definitive list of that in my head, though. So there, Francis Meetsia says, there you go. Use that thing and set up a BBS. It might be an interesting project. Do people actually use it in like significant numbers enough where like I could get people to actually use my BBS? Would I have to moderate it, or could I just like let it go? Would bad stuff happen if I just let it, you know, exist? Oh God, we have to find the electrical tape, and I know exactly where it is, and it's really sad that like part of the oh, let's grab it. Well, one of the reasons I've been switching to more of well, I've been trying to do more software content recently and things like that is because my camera frame has stopped holding the battery in. It cracked in a really weird way. And now the battery, I have to hold it in manually or use electrical tape, which I found was the best method, because it requires more tension than you can use with like cheaper tape. So I've been going through electrical tape like crazy now. Because every time I film something, I have to tape in the camera battery and put in the SD card and move it out. I was thinking of a solution involving, so I don't really want to pay I don't want to buy another camera or camera frame. I was hoping I'd find a broken one on eBay and just replace everything. So, I mean, that's what I do kind of on most of my electronics if something like that happens. But another option I was thinking of, well, yeah, but the thing is it's holding the battery in, and I can't charge it with a camera. The battery has to come out and I have to put it in a charger, kind of like a drill. So every time I do that, I have to take this and tape in the battery again. And also when I transfer files, the SD card place is underneath the same spot. I have to do that. I was thinking about taking some dead 9-volt batteries. I have 2 dead 9 volts. And well, the thing is, with 9-volt batteries, a little clip of one really quick. This one is dead. Get some more strings for violin. Only had 3 strings to begin with, and now I'm down to 2. It's not good. But if you notice the little clips on here, you can clip them together. Like if you get 2 tops of 9-volt batteries, so you can actually use these. And I was thinking what I could do is get some Gorilla Glue, a piece of wood, and a rubber band, attach it to the top of one of these clips, Gorilla Glue the other side on the bottom of the camera, and have them plugged together. So, yeah, maybe I'll use a hairband or something that's a little bit more demand, but you get the idea. Oh, I can be like that one Slingshot channel dude. He makes some really cool things. His woodworking skills are mastery tier. Let's do some cable management. Put this down here. Looks like it slides under here too. So not quite sure what to do with this. I'll just electrical tape it off somewhere. It appears that some of the cable management is handled by this big metal clip thing. So I should probably install this. So some of it's also handled by other metal clips. A little bit weird design there, but I kind of like the older IBM designs. They seem a little bit simpler to work on. But you can't really do as much with them. Kind of old. The 380 XD is actually pretty easy to work on. But this isn't that bad. I mean, they have hardware maintenance manuals and everything for that. So it looks like this little metal clip in the middle might have been where I should have threaded the Wi-Fi cables through. Not quite sure yet, because I have to figure out how this mounts, which I guess I could just look at another part system, but eventually I might be able to make a 3rd unit. Where did this thing go? I need to figure out. So it presses down on something and it screws in somewhere. Maybe it'll make more sense if I just put the plastic back on, kind of get a gist of what this looks like. So plastic goes on like this. Okay. So this goes on like this. So this doesn't really provide any cable management. So my guess is we're going to need that clip because, keyboard backing, rigidity, things like that. But my guess is these cables probably go through here, on the back of this, which is also a tensioner clip, but I don't think it really is doing a whole lot, but it does keep these cables in, and it probably does have a little bit of some functionality with tensioning stuff. So we'll get the white cable. They appear to fit just fine. Tension clip is still hitting the frame, and we'll just screw this back in. Need to get these out of the fan area, so I imagine there's another way to. I don't know. X200 is really easy. You only have to worry about like Wi-Fi and WLAN cables, and they all go to the same place. And you just have to thread them together and put them underneath a metal clip. Single metal clip, not a bunch of them. This one seems to be the opposite. Bunch of metal clips. So this has to not touch the fan. If it touches the fan, you're not in a good place. And also, maybe there's. I mean, I don't have to have the exact OEM, cable management, but like I said, it has to be pretty close. So maybe I'm not quite sure if these. They should. Oh, there's a little clip on the heatsink too. Okay. So I'm guessing these go in the heatsink clip, which keeps them out of the way of the fan. And the WLAN cables are kind of just taped like that. Oh my god. This would have been easier to add before adding the Oh wait, you guys can't even see this. Okay, so this heatsink thing right here, there's a metal clip here, and I don't know if this is exactly how you're supposed to do it based off the OEM people, but it does seem to be working. So there's a little hole here underneath this clip where these two cables reside in, and there's one over here. Pretty much the idea is to get this as flat as possible, so when you put the keyboard on, you don't have any issues with it curving. So, and the other thing you got to be concerned about is it has to stay away from the CPU fan. So this is another, well, I mean, I guess you could have took photos at the beginning of the build, but I could have, but I did kind of explain the whole camera situation there a minute ago. So this is kind of a little bit of a, go by feel build. Generally, the more models of something I do, the better I can get it to, look like OEM. Like, I think if you actually take apart one of the X200s I sold, it's pretty much the same, except like I replaced some of their, they use some weird sort of tape, and I replaced some of that with electrical tape, and that's about it. But since this isn't something I worked on a bunch of times, I can't just be like, oh, hey, magic. Wolfgang's channel. Just woke up to see the Epic ThinkPad dude doing the Epic ThinkPad things again. Well, thanks. Do I ever sleep? Yeah, I do. I'm going to sleep like probably 4 hours tonight. But I am going to finish this. It's already Libreboot. Turns on. I can show you really quick. And Wolfgang, I spent a long time doing that NetBSD thing, and it didn't work out because my AT power supply died. And you never accepted my challenge. But either way, I'd have to buy a T420 motherboard, so... but it's glad to see you, Wolfgang. And MF says, do cable management on my hair. There, so the cable management. Okay, Alaskan Experience says, take care of yourself. trip code. Well, I mean, I figured like I should make more videos, and well, I don't know. I mean, I guess doing live streams, because at the moment my camera's a little bit not quite the best repair. Oh god, do you guys want me to look like a samurai? Or God, I feel ridiculous. This whole rubber band thing doesn't really. I don't look like a samurai. Oh god, fucking hell! This is a horrible idea. It's like fucking stuck. Okay, bad idea. Okay. Let's not make hair management a part of my channel. So, remove this piece of tape here, replace it with some new electrical tape. Electrical tape's rated at higher temps than whatever this is going to get up to. So it's fine to use for applications like this, even though generally I'd avoid putting it on the heat sink directly. But it should be fine. Getting tired. I cover a little bit, but not like. Oh, man. So there we go. It's under there. I feel like this should be screwed on somehow. I have no clue what it does. It doesn't appear to have a screw hole. So I'm guessing the little metal piece that I put on the floor earlier. Oh yeah, one more other piece of electrical tape, and I think we're ready to add this plastic back on. So let's go. Oh, by the way, sorry, Wolfgang. I probably should have like actually sent you in person or like private messaged you that challenge thing. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't really know how to get in contact with people. I made a Mastodon though, so that's slightly better. I'm not good at social media, and it'd be weird to it'd be even weirder to make like a 4chan thread than like a YouTube poll. So, God, where is that? Oh, it fell behind the desk. Okay, I found pliers. Will help me reach the electrical tape. Fucker! Roll the fuck. Okay, got electrical tape. Oh, and you can tell I'm getting sleepy now because I'm beginning to drop shit everywhere. So, hopefully, this is going to be like the last few bits of electrical tape on here, and we will be good to go. So there's like a little ravine in the frame. There's typically little ravines in the frame. And you just go down in the ravine, shove the cables down, put tape over it so they stay in the ravine. And more tape. They don't stay if part of the cable doesn't stay in the ravine. And it seems like on the X200 that some of these cables don't really quite have positions to necessarily like flow towards. on some of these. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it was to accommodate like a different size Wi-Fi card, like the smaller ones or something. But I don't know. They seem to have a little bit of slack somewhere. But pretty much as long as they're not like bumping into things, you're typically good. So we're gonna put these down here. Well, thanks, Alex. This is, by the way, for cable management, Intelligence 100 here is probably not the apt description. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they had like stat scores. Sleepiness would kind of have a negative impact on it. So, yeah, let's just take this one down here. There. Make sure none of the tape is getting in the way of the DVD drive. Put that back in. You know, I'm probably not really ever going to use it. I guess I do use the one on my T500 occasionally. Now we're at the stage where we got plastic on it. We're getting close. We are getting close. So, from memory, I kind of remember these using the tiny screws, like these, little 3.5 millimeter ones. So we'll just put some of those on these. And there's some screws in the back of the case, which I don't remember the size, but I'm just going to rob them from another ThinkPad because I'm getting sleepy and don't want to look at a maintenance manual. I mean, it's not the maintenance manual's bad or anything. I fucking love it when they have a good maintenance manual. This maintenance manual I rank pretty well. It's better than iFixit. iFixit kind of, well, I mean, they do a good job, I guess, for things that don't have maintenance manuals publicly available. But, you know, for things that do, you're generally better off with, you know, kind of just maintenance manual, a little bit of common sense, and you'll be fine. So, also, if you want to take apart a laptop for the first time, I would recommend doing a simple repair, not a motherboard swap, with flashing in the middle of it. So after I get this done, I'm gonna see what time it is and see if I'm gonna set up an operating system on this live stream. Because I feel like the viewers that don't view or that typically aren't awake at, you know, European times just like miss like my live stream every time. So it's either in like the morning or in the afternoon. I think I did one in the morning. So I'm just gonna keep going, and if it, you know, turns out to get late enough, the time is 1:30 a.m. Wait, here? Fuck. It's getting late. Sleepier I get, the more I swear. By the way, if this ends up getting past like 5:30 a.m. Oh, it's 11:30 p.m. I have class tomorrow. But, hey, that's my attitude too. I have class at 7 a.m. But like I'm saying, like I have another 2-liter Mountain Dew. You know, I can do the entire OS install. You know, we could figure out a Windows manager, mess around with it, and see how far we get. Not quite sure I'm going to finish that part on the live stream, but we'll at least get somewhere with it, you know? Okay, lid closes, flip it over. Looks like I got to add some screws in here. This is not the right type of screw. Doesn't even seed, so we need to find a slightly longer one, or thicker one, or something. So best way to do this is when you have multiple ThinkPads or scrap tops. Oh, this is the one I already fixed. Okay, don't take your working unit and use it for parts. That's a bad move. That's a brainlet move right there, taking your working unit and using it for parts to fix your unit that probably will work, but you're not sure. But yeah, let's get a little bit ahead on this. Take this out. Oh man, I feel like I insulted Wolfgang and he left. I feel kind of bad. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm not really good at telling those things. I'm really tired. But yeah, like I could probably stay up till my 7 a.m. class, but if it gets past like 5 a.m., I do have to prepare like some sort of speech thing for my 6 a.m. class or 6 p.m. class. So yeah, like this might turn into a oh my god, the topic of the speech is pretend you're winning an award. Honestly, I'm doing a pretty easy semester this time. I kind of screwed up to the prerequisites, and I need to take 2 comm courses. The one comm course is before the other course, so I'm literally just taking comm and political science. Oh my god, that's so easy. And I'm doing it at a community college because it's cheaper. And certain reasons with A&M at the moment, but I am going back there next semester because I pretty much finished my degree, except for this diversifying of your educational knowledge. I was about to say another swear word right there, but I stopped myself. But yeah. I just need the paperwork so I can go apply to something I actually find interesting after this. Get a master's in something. I have a pretty good GPA. Hidden Beacon says, sounds like a valuable learning experience. How much does it weigh, Trip? I don't know how much does it weigh. I don't have a gram scale. Well, actually, I do have a gram scale, but not a. I guess like I could use my mom's like weight scale, and I could stand on it and then hold the ThinkPad and get like a somewhat inaccurate measurement. What degree are you getting? MIS in cybersecurity, and after I'm gonna see if I can just do a major in. Or I could do graduate school in cybersecurity because those are my options pretty much. Not exactly the best, but not exactly the worst. You know, I do kind of like I wouldn't mind doing server administration as a job. Doesn't sound that bad. So, yeah. No, we do not need that. We do not need porn of YouTubers. I know they do that on Y. I do not want that to happen. In fact, I think it's how much does it weight relative to X240 and T42? T42 pretty much. Might say slightly heavier than the 14-inch one. No, lasting experience. None of that. I mean, now you're making me question your username, the Alaskan experience. Like, is it like a euphemism at this point, or is it just like you live in an Alaska? I'm getting a little bit confused at this point. Okay, so what else? I got some of the screws in. Looks like this is now attached. This isn't snapped in properly. I'm tired. And I'm going to try to snap it in properly. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Nice, and one more part done. And now it gets to start to look like a ThinkPad again instead of a pile of parts. I will pay $50 to commission this from Shadman, says Boy Off Reiko. It's about who you know. I haven't even completed my diploma, and I have some part-time work with a contractor, says Financial. Yeah, I kind of get that. I'm trying to go to like some programming meetup thing in Austin, and I'm probably just gonna show my FFmpeg video editor thing, and hopefully it'll be a bit more fleshed out. I'll clean up the code a bit, and it's only like a 5-minute talk, so I'm just gonna like talk about how you can use copy codec to do video editing on much older systems. And even though FFmpeg scripts do seem a little bit complicated at first, you can simplify them with another terminal interface. God, maybe I should have wrote GUI stuff. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, I'm trying to get in on that. Okay, we'll do the boot up test at this point, and after this, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette so I'm awake, and then maybe stretch. I mean, it's not like boot. There's no hard drive, but you know, we got our grub configuration. We got my custom. Actually, I might upload this in the Krita files, but oh god, I need to change the color in the config. You can barely read this, but I think it looks okay for the background. Debian GNU Linux 96 GPL LGPL BSD. Need to change this highlight color to like red or something. You can barely read it. But either way, that menu is only going to be there for like a second once an OS is installed. So I might not change it. Might do. Not quite sure. So anyways, though, time for cigarette break and stretching. Gotta stretch. Oh. Ow. Okay. How are you with maths, Trip? Says MF. It was well, I graduated high school early. I finished math the year before that. If you're not familiar with US high school, it's literally just bullshit. I smoke Talon menthol hard pack, cost $1.25. I bought all of them. They stopped making them at the gas station. But yeah, with math, after pre-cal, I did okay in college algebra. I got A's in all my programming classes except the one I did freshman year. And that wasn't because I was new to programming. It was because I got a little bit too party-ish freshman year of college. And then I had to spend the rest of college slowly fixing that GPA. But I fixed it, kind of. 3.5 overall, 3.7 in major. Most of my programming classes, though, were stuff like C#, Java, ASP.NET. But during my cybersecurity minor, I took some comp sci course that it was 121, which was C++ programming, but the professor also covered like basic data structures. Like we had to, write out like linked lists and like dynamic arrays and things like that. I made an A in that, and I made an A in a discrete C programming intro class. So I think those were, I And the thing I enjoyed, I like C++ out of all those sort of languages I did in college. It's the 4-year. But at this point, it's a 5-year. Oh, God, I'm tired. Libreboot is just a pre-compiled binary version of coreboot, and also they have sources for it, and they remove all the binary blobs on it. And they do actually do, I don't know if they still are horribly active, because I went on their IRC and now they're just working on Libreboot for obscure ThinkPad models and Core 2 Duo stuff still. So I'm just like a little bit disappointed. I feel like the project's on its way out, but it's still core boot at its core, so you can just flash on core boot. I'm probably going to sell this run of Libreboot ThinkPads, and I'm probably going to offer, I typically do warranty support for like 30 days, which is the same as like you can just return it. I'll just send you another one, or you can return it, get your money back. And yeah, I mean, I'm probably just gonna sell. I'm not selling this one probably, but that's because it's questionably made, because I'm very sleepy at the moment. I put in a way too high. I probably put in a processor that's gonna make it have to run ThinkFan. Tiano core boot. Isn't Tiano core like in core boot? Like you have the option for Tiano core. I typically just use cBIOS now. So like I mean, I did the grub chain loader the first time I wrote like core boot stuff, but ever since then it's just been cBIOS. I figured there's probably not any bad code in the VGA BIOS for it, which gives you better support for things like, well, at the time I was trying to condense most of my computer stuff to one computer, and I do like projects that make money occasionally, like, oh hey, someone wants their hard drive's dead, they want Windows 10. Okay, I'll buy like some recycled license key for $6. Okay, $50, and then I'll make some money. And then, oh no, another dead hard drive. Or actually, that guy had a dead hard drive and power supply. And then I've occasionally sold laptops and things like that. I listed a tough book on eBay, and hopefully that will work out. But because of the cBIOS's ability to run Windows, I was kind of, it's really hard to make a Windows 10. Actually, Windows 10 is better, but back in the 7, like I hate Windows 10. I would put 7 on people's machines, so they started paying more for Windows 10. But when I was putting 7 on, it was kind of hard to generate a bootable 7 disk from Linux. It's like one of my few issues with Linux. Alaskan experience. How do you advertise your repair services? Well, I get my friends that have jobs, and I have business cards. And whenever one of their coworkers needs to repair a computer, I do it for a lot cheaper than Best Buy, and it occasionally gets me work about once or twice a week. A little bit concerned now because my coworker that was getting me the most jobs is now, or not coworker, but friend that has coworkers that was getting me the most jobs, has quit their job at Whole Foods. So I need to actually put out flyers or something on campus. And oh my God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put up flyers or hire someone to put up flyers. I don't like walking. And so UB, yes, Windows 7 is pretty much dead now. I mean, not completely, but it's going the way of like using XP like 5 years ago. I am not a huge fan of Windows 7 either, but you know, it was at least a product, not a service. I made a whole video on that. Lasting experience. The thing I'd love to see is the drivers for Chrome OS devices ported to the mainline kernel. That would actually be pretty cool because there's a huge lack of ARM support for things like modems and other things like that. Because I would love to see mainline Linux phones. I know there's like certain. Let me look up the project. It's actually quite cool, but their support is limited to very specific devices. And they don't, the only one that you can kind of get away with it is the Nokia N900 right now. And even then, you have to write your own scripts for like making calls and stuff. Post-market OS. That's the interesting one. The Nokia N900 is way too expensive. Like, I've been thinking of just putting a 3G modem or something, or even like a... Yeah, post-market... Oh, I mean, I haven't looked at Purism phones recently, but I guess... Let me look at that. It's probably out of my budget range. I generally deal with like I kind of got my interest at computers from scavenging at recycling centers as a middle schooler. It's weird because the guy still knows me by name. It's been like 10 years. I went over there to like search for some batteries recently. I guess it's makes sense though, as I went there like twice a week throughout like adolescence, and went and grabbed bicycles, and they would pretty much let me take anything that wasn't coppers. Is the only thing they made money off of. Even though I did make a spot welder out of a microwave once, and that did use the transformer. So... Samsung Chromebook 3. It's the worst model of Chromebooks. Weird. I don't know. My favorite phone that I like smartphone device I've had was Note 3 with Lineage. It was pretty nice. But let's look here. Things I just want to run Debian on my phone and be able to like have a script that spams phone calls to people. That'd be nice. I'm officially sleepy, so I'm gonna go on a Mountain Dew run after finishing this, and then, well, actually, I'm gonna screw the mouse pad back on, and oh god, I think I might grab the iced tea. Andrew Hall, bit of a niche market for freetard privacy phones. Oh, that's insulting. As well as the the manufacturing costs are going to be high. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the same page with that. I rather see like drivers for like modems and things like that on normal phones. So, ugh. Well, Gallium OS, I have not tried that. Is that like, I think, is that specifically for Chromebooks? Like, is it like made for it? Let me look it up. Yeah, it's for Chrome OS devices. That's probably why I've never used it. I've never owned a Chrome OS device. Andrew Hall, Nokia N900. I've seen it with i3WM before. It's really silly because I would not want to use, actually it does have a slide out keyboard, so maybe. Lasting experience like LED backlight and touchscreen issues. Yeah, that'd be good too. I've actually been considering like sticking like this would actually be something I need some help with knowledgeably because I'm not great at okay, so I know enough about digital electronics to copy the design of an open source ARM board with like 2G and put it into an express card slot and use the express card rails to power it. It does. I worked out the wattages. It is possible, and that'd be really cool because then I could have a secondary system to offload rendering to, and I still use my X200S for another like 4 years. And with that, I could essentially also use it as a separate device that is fully removable, something like this. I could just take out and have nothing with a like 3G modem or GPS or anything like that in my computer. And I would actually really like something like that as a product idea. Ugh. Install Windows 2K on a T400. Why? Like, I mean, Windows 2K is probably the least bastardized version of NT, but it's still NT. I mean, I have some slight interest in like the DOS-based sort of things. Like, you can actually run like Windows 95 through DOSBox on a Linux system, which I find kind of cool. But I'm not hugely into the retro thing, and since like the retro games I played is I like playing Roller Coaster Tycoon and just making like a bunch of people end up in a sort of trapped in the theme park of doom type sort of thing. But yeah, I mean I like that in Civ 3. So and I noticed that old Photoshop probably has most of the features I use, but then I started like messing around with Krita recently, and it's actually not that bad. There's like some key binding configs I have to do though, so like that kind of defeats the purpose of having like a 98 machine to run Photoshop. So I don't know. Maybe I'll like once I get better at that, I'll probably upload a video on it. It's kind of weird though. It's like it's not terminal based, but I will say though that for image editing, like for some reason video editing, I'm fine with it being terminal based. But uh, I mean, FreeDOS is pretty cool actually. I've installed it before and it runs on old hardware just fine. Like it'll run on a 486. It's not really that hard too. It's a rather simple system. You just have to modify like autoexec.bat. It's all free software too. Solus is battery sucking succubus. I've never used Solus actually. I have used what is it? Debian for years. At this point, from Jesse to Stretch to Buster. And I just kind of make my own system based off Debian on how I wanted it to. I used to use Mate, and then I just use i3 now. I think on this computer I'm going to put probably Window Maker or something obscure like that. Or not like obscure, but something interesting with kind of a retro look based off the splash screen. And then I'm going to see if I can have the splash, like, there's probably some software out there for the like Linux kernel loading, or it still shows that. I think that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, for viewers that just got on, oh yeah, I guess since my cigarette's out, I will actually finish the build here. But you know, I've been getting pretty far along on this. It's a T5 or T400, and yeah, look at that splash screen. Oh, here, let me move some things so you can actually. Yeah, I made that in Krita. Has the, you know, since like Windows has officially stopped making actual Windows and just produces it as a crappy service now, I figured this is appropriate Libreboot splash screen now. Yeah, and I am probably just gonna build this just so I can write something out. I mean, I have my main systems over here. It is a runs i3 Debian X200 SU processor, soon to be Librabooted, has an amazing battery life, horrible performance, but it can browse the web and compile programs, which is good enough for me. So let's zoom in on NeoFetch so you guys can see this wonderful. Oh yeah, it has a 1440 by 900 panel too, which is quite nice at this size. Like this thing, like compared to, like, I mean, look size difference is at least big enough for me to be happier with this machine. And then I put a 2 terabyte solid state drive in it, so I spent a lot of money on that. Probably shouldn't have, but either way. And I have a lot of spare parts for X200s. So, and I have 2 9 cells for it. So that means I can like have 2 9 cells, 2 extra 6 cells. So I could be probably good for 24 hours if I actually had to go on a flight or something with the thing. So probably look kind of weird going through airport security with 4 laptop batteries, but you know, whatever. At least they're not reselled laptop batteries, which I've been tempted to do, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to go through airports with that. Wait, are you saying to MF, or is that addressed to me for buying a newer model? Or I kind of, okay, let me check up on chat. So Andrew Hall, DOSBox has a bunch of FOSS TCP/IP stacks available. I did not know that. That's actually pretty cool. Call me lasting experience as call me base, but my favorite DE is Cinnamon. I've never used Cinnamon. Isn't it kind of like Mate? Not quite sure. So he loves Genome, but I like Genome too when I used it on Ubuntu back in 5th grade. He did not like Genome 3. I had it on a little Acer Aspire netbook. Okay. Sayubi, I do kind of wish Linux would run on mobile. Oh, yeah, mobile devices took off. I've been almost considering, like, I kind of, if they had core boot for those little GPD systems, I would actually love to use one of those if they also had a dock, because it's probably a little bit better performance than the X200S, and I could literally just like have everything with me, and as I carry the X200S everywhere, and it's kind of a big thing to carry everywhere. You know, I feel like I'm like one of those like first generation cell phone owners, you know, to carry the big lead acid battery box thing. It's not quite that bad, but I mean, Alaskan Insurance, I've seen that subreddit. I don't really go on Reddit that often, but it's okay. I mean, I kind of got okay with my UI. Like, I have Ranger set up where it displays images in the background, and URXVT. I have URXVT color codes that work for me, and I have. I probably should write a like better Bash profile, and I think after that I'll be completely happy on that for a while. But I figured I'd have some fun and try something else instead of. Well, I mean, I'm doing a programming project already, so you know. Andrew Hall says had some crappy ThinkPad Edge 11, but I accidentally destroyed the connectors for the trackpad and keyboard while reassembling it after clean. Well, I am sorry. Buying those cables individually can be kind of expensive. MF says yes for better battery life. I mean, I don't mind my battery life. It's good enough. I just wish I wish I could still use an X60 nowadays. The graphics on it got a little bit slow for video playback off things like YouTube and things, even with the T7200. And I was never able to find a T7200 with WLAN, and I was never able to find a low voltage Core 2 Duo for it. So. And my 1400 by 1050 display I got from China was super dim, and the backlight mod I screwed up. So, yeah, or not backlight mod, but tube change. So, and after that, I realized I poured like $200 into an X60 build, and then I kind of just was like, X200 doesn't sound that bad at that point. I typically don't put a lot of money into my laptops, so that was an exception because I really love the X60's format. I haven't seen one in person or typed on its keyboard, but I like the one that had the track point. I mean, at least in appearance. I like track points. I wish it supported core boot. CUB says Chrome OS looks really good. Well, I mean, isn't it like locked down though? I mean, that's like the worst option. I'd rather lug something. I'd rather lug a like 380 around with me, like, you know, the big ThinkPad with the floppy disk and disk drive placed on each other, than if we had an open OS. I haven't used it. Like, isn't it? I'd be like locked into Google services. I'd be stuck with a very small drive. Keep in mind, I like data hoarding, so. But boy off Reiko says trip code. The woman who gave me a 900p screen for my T400 is. I am not reading that. Sorry. X230 keyboard is good. Well, I'd rather have an X220. Well, actually, I'd rather have an X200 or X201 keyboard. Anyways, I'm getting too much into the chat here. I need to get back to like actually, putting components back on this thing. So where do I find a mouse pad? I don't think this thing originally had a mouse pad on it. So my guess is this thing's fried based off the dent, and I might be wrong, but it also doesn't have a screen at all. So I figure this will be a good donor system for our mouse pad. So, oh wow, well that's easy. I swear I didn't expect that. I expected to have to unscrew things. The mouse pad just comes off. That's great, at least for parting something out. Out of sheer curiosity, like if a ThinkPad can actually survive this level of abuse. Keep in mind, this is a scrap ThinkPad I bought for $5 for parts. So I'm gonna see if it'll work. Put some RAM in it, power it up, see if it gives an error message. See if this 2 GB stick works. I need to find another 2 GB stick on my desk before I install the mouse pad, because on a T400 they're under the mouse pad, so I at least want 4 GB of RAM. So let's go take a look. Plug this in on the VGA port. I'm gonna really miss when they stop adding VGA ports to systems. Oh great, the screen rotated. Just rotate this back. Okay, got the RAM. About to power it on. Let's see if this beat up part system actually has a good motherboard. Because if so, I might be able to make a third system. Oh, something's happening. I heard noise from it. Keyboard's plugged in. Heatsink. Trying to read something from the disk drive. It's on again. God, this thing might actually be like totally fried. I'll give it one more shot. Yank the CMOS battery out. Sometimes that fixes things. Not particularly often, but sometimes. Very rare occurrence. But either way, I have an old CMOS battery that's probably going to fail in 2 years. Oh, wait. I'm going to reseat this RAM a bit. Make sure it's unplugged. Plug it back in. Try one more time. Wait a little bit. Oof. Really not good. Yeah, I think this thing is like absolutely dead. Like there's not even the fan spinning up on the. Let me make sure this isn't like PC3L memory. Sometimes that causes problems. I guess just to reduce error chances, we could try the 1 GB stick I have in here first. But I'm pretty sure that 2 GB stick's fine. Oof. Could just remove. Oh no, it's not live. Cool. Last chance for the zombie ThinkPad. Okay, we pressed the power. Oh, Okay. You press the power button, spins up. Or it spun up originally. If you press it again. Yeah, this thing's dead. Very dead. Oh, we got beeps. We got beep codes. Which is bad because that means the RAM's questionable. The other thing. Could these be the CMOS beep codes? I look up 3 beep codes in a row. Guitar Mat C just woke up having a wild dream about your antics. Goddamn. Well, I hope the dream was good. Andrew Hall, could you nuke COS and install Linux? What's CO? Oh, Chrome OS. I guess this is back to the Chrome OS conversation. What's RAM Ranch? Guitar Map C. Jesse Riddy, you could almost thread a cable through a hole in that chair and wrangle it back towards you. Probably could. Yeah, I like that comment though. Spin it around via rope cable. 1331 is memory problem. Oh my god. Okay, I do have one more 1 gigabyte stick. It boots up in the other system, and I don't. Maybe it like has to be in the top slot. Here. I have an idea. Okay. Try this one again. Put one on the bottom and the top. I'll probably wait for a little bit because that causes condensation. And in the meantime, I'm going to look for that second 2 gig memory stick because I know it's out there somewhere. Somewhere underneath the pile of computer parts from various projects. I've just been doing this like constantly right now. So what do we got here? Oh, this thing's kind of cool. It's a dead hard drive. I used to take neodymium magnets out to use as screw collectors. The screw collectors work very well, but I can also do this with it. I need to get like some sort of stepper motor controller because this thing's actually kind of cool. Like, oh wait, is this even plugged in? I don't think it's plugged in. Oh man. But either way, I'll show this off later. It's just an empty hard disk I tore up for parts. It was like dead though, completely dead. I did data recovery on it for a little bit, and I got halfway through. I need to start labeling my stuff. Like I labeled this battery dead. So let's go through the file here. Oh, guess what I found? Oh, empty pack of smokes. Okay, pile. Wow, we got RAM. We got piles of RAM, but none of it the right type. What do we got here? Not quite sure. Do you know what I mean? But it's for really old systems. Like 72-pin SIM or something. Oh my god. Some of these aren't even those. They're older. 30 pins. We got DDR. We need DDR3 though. Okay, there's probably a train too big for some other system somewhere. I just don't want to like. If I go back to my like inside, I could definitely find a 2 gigabyte RAM stick. Okay, here's another 1 gig stick. DDR3. By the way, 1 gig sticks with DDR3 are like literally the worst. I mean, there's nothing I could put them in to make something useful, really. Huh. Oh, you can drive one with an Arduino? That's pretty cool. I mean, wait, that means you probably drive one with our Pi, maybe. Motor controller shield. Oh, you need motor controller shields. Yes, Codium to upload basic C to Arduino. I just want to spin in a circle. Wonder if you can make like some sort of, 555 timer type thing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try the computer over here. We search for more memory again. Both swaps this time loaded with DDR. And if I had contact clean or DDR3, total of plug in the cable, and that was a little bit anticlimactic. Cable. Oh yeah, I zip tied it up here. So okay, there it is. Okay. Let's see if this is like worth any more parts rather than screws. Okay, we got fan spinning up. Wait a little bit. It's spinning up again. And the same RAM errors, but I don't think the RAM's dead, so I've tried a multitude of cartridges. Maybe just one in the top slot. At least then, like, it'll give an error saying I need one in the. So I'm pretty sure it goes bottom and top for these. But yeah, I don't know. I think this one, the motherboard's dead on this thing too. Essentially, this is just was good for like plastics. That's about it. Oh, honestly, no. I just wanted to run at full speed so I can like put sandpaper on the platter. Oh. I guess like a Native American, I'll use all parts of the ThinkPad. Oh man, maybe that violates YouTube's terms of service. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't know. Do they have an issue with the like use all parts of the buffalo thing? I honestly don't know. I'm not very. I don't know a lot about their culture. To the motor pin. Huh. Might work. I don't know a whole lot about DC motor construction for a hard drive. Stepper motors in general. Okay, but either way though, I need to find 2 gigs of RAM. I'm out of Mountain Dew, so I'll be taking like a 5-minute break to go inside and get RAM. And iced tea so I can stay up. Or maybe I'll look around here for a bit. Oh wait, no, this is the deal. Okay, be right back. 5 minutes, probably less. Where did my iced tea go? Okay, found RAM. I could not find my iced tea though. Kind of upsetting. I wish I did. So yeah, okay though. I even brought the little teacup thing. This Mountain Dew's warm. Unable to connect to chat. Oh, it's kind of odd. Okay, I'm back to. Am I back? Oh. Oh. I guess if I can't connect to chat, I'm just gonna finish this up really quick. So pretty much that mouse pad I yanked. What I'm gonna do here first is grab the RAM I found. They're both Hynix. I'm just gonna simply insert them, one at the bottom, one at the top. See if the power's on. And yeah, we got a. Well, that's odd. Isn't Let me try this again. Huh. Wired connection. Disconnect. Connect. Oh, I might need to refresh the page.